It's go time. Oh, I shouldn't cough. That's not a good way to start. Hey, how is everyone doing tonight? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Monday Night Live, where we get together every Monday night and we draw something that usually is a landscape, or it could be an interior, it could be architecture, it could be natural, or even something by the sea, right? So let's see. If you're new to the channel, I just want to welcome you, and like I said, I do live every Monday night. On Wednesday night, I do a live portrait class here, and we have a great Facebook group, all kinds of good stuff. If you are a brand new artist and you're looking for some fun lessons, I will hook you up for success. Go into the description and click on the Beginner's Workshop Part A, and that will really set you up with a firm foundation. Okay? The chat is active, so if you have any questions, feel free just to ask away, and I will pause and make sure I'll explain whatever needs to be explained. I should have turned this on before we started here. So, yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Monday. I am, of course, very happy to be here drawing. I look forward to doing this, and it's a lot of fun. So, tonight we're going to be drawing this outdoor Japanese, man, I can't remember what these things are called, like a tea house maybe, out in the garden. So we're going to look at that, and there's some really great aspects of drawing here that we're going to be able to practice. So what I'm going to do first is take our picture away, and I want to walk through just a couple of quick exercises with you. So if this is as far as you get, these are great things to stick in the back of your head and use whenever you go drawing, all right? So first one I want to show you is this idea of overlap, and that means that we are trying to create depth in our picture. So a very simple way to illustrate that idea is 3 of these balls here. You see that? So this idea of overlap, I have A is in front of B and B is in front of C. And so we get the sense that C is the furthest back in space. Easy, right? But this is where we actually, this concept is actually, we can use it to our advantage in all kinds of different things. That's why it's so important to really get it hit in our head. A lot of times I will talk about using Y's and T's, and what I mean by that is right here. You see this? This looks like a lower Y, a Y there, right? This right here is almost like an upside down T. This right here is also an upside down T. So this is quite obvious when we're drawing. Hey, John and Leah, good to see you guys. Welcome. So we use these concepts all the time. So let me show you another way that we use the overlap, or the T and the Y. So if we were going to have two circles like this, we could actually do something like this. You see that? This will give I drew that a little too far there. Let me just erase that. This will cause A to be in front of B. You see that? And we could do just the opposite if you wanted to. Watch this. Let's draw 2 more circles, just like that. But this time, we'll put the top part. So now B is in front of A because of this overlap. So this is something that you will use all the time in drawing. I mean, all the time. So though this concept seems simple, it's something that you will use over and over again. So you want to just remember T's and Y's and the power of overlap. All right, let's erase that. Now let's go into our next. Since we are going to draw a house tonight, let's talk about that for a quick second. So let's review how you would draw a cube, okay? So there are many ways to approach it. but I want to encourage you to try this way first, okay? So let's just say we have a vertical, right? And we could put let's just move this vertical over here like that, and then let's move one just right over here like that, okay? Hey, Giovannia, how are you? So I have 3 verticals. So if I'm going to draw this this cube in perspective, what I want to do is use this concept of fanning out. Watch, like that's fanning out. It's like these things are going back to a vanishing point. You see that? And then I could fan this out and make this go back to a vanishing point. So I'm not really sure where the vanishing point is, but I know that these will eventually converge. So that's something that when I draw cubes, I want to always think about. Let's just start. We could draw like this. You could draw a cube like this. Look. All right, there's the top of it. Okay. If I just go a couple straights just like that, I don't know how long they're going to be yet. But let's just say here, I'm going to draw the bottom. And look, those are fanning out from a similar vanishing point. And the same thing over here. This is going back. I want to make sure that converges. And I'm going to slowly adjust the angle here so that converges as well. You see? So when you draw your cubes, you could keep all your verticals parallel, but then all the other lines are going to you're going to want to make sure that they all fan out and go back to a vanishing spot. So let's come back to our bigger little drawing here. And if I have a square, and I want to find the exact dead center of that square, there's a very easy way to do it without a ruler. And you simply just have to cross the corners, just like that. That's going to be the dead center of my square. Now, if that square is going to be in perspective, like it is right here, I can find the center as well, the same way, just by connecting the corners, and there's the center. Let's do the same thing on the other side here. Connect the corners, and that's my center. All right, so now that I got my center, let's go up with a vertical, just like that. And this could be any height you want. Hey Joe, how is it going there? Just started, so you'll be okay. If I just went up like this and I connected that, and I connected this down here, okay? Now we're starting to have a little bit of a roof. We're going to call this point A, the peak of that roof right there. Now this is fanning out. That's fanning out. The roof angle, I want to make sure this also is kind of fanning out, going back to the same vanishing point. All right, let's look at this. I'm going to change the color of my pencil here so you can see this. So here's the angle of my roof there. And technically, we're just going to draw a parallel with that. So you want to draw 2 parallel lines, and that will really give us a nice peak of our roof there. If you wanted to extend this just a little bit, all right, let's extend it. Let's extend this way just a little bit. Okay, we're going to do that. Same exact distance there. If we're going to draw the edge of this is also going to go back to our vanishing point. Maybe a little more like this, right? And then on this side, if I'm going to extend this, let me show you this now. Right there, this is also going to go back to the vanishing point, and I'm going to use that as a measuring point so I know how long I need to extend that roof. Okay, let's try another one here. Let's try another one. So I'm gonna take this down here and we'll start a new sheet. This time let's draw like this is our eye level. This is our ground level. Okay? This could be our ground level. What's happening here? There it is. I gotta erase that. Alright. There's my ground level, okay? Let's put a straight right in the center there. Another one right there, and this one let's push it way over there, okay? Way over. And why isn't that cooperating with me, right? All right. Hold on. Give you a chance to get caught up here, right? There it goes. Okay. Can I use Krita instead of Procreate? Oh, of course you can, Giovanni. I try and keep it pretty simple. So we're really just kind of drawing on top. Of course you could use a Krita. Okay? We're just drawing basically. No fancy stuff over here. Okay? So let's go ahead and continue here. So we've got our three different verticals. These are all going to converge to the same vanishing point here. And what I want to show you is how to draw. Wow, this is like giving me all kinds of little problems right now. I have a feeling. Nope, that's okay. Hang in there. It looks like there's a little bit of buffering going on. Man, I think it'll catch up to us here. So here's another cube that we have going here. Let's go ahead and extend. Let's create what I like to call is a perspective grid. And the grid will help us to keep everything lined up, all right? So once I have the basic cube structure, let's create a grid out of it. So this is what you do. You take your top and bottom right there. You find the center. There's the center right there, okay? And then over here, we're going to do the same. Top and bottom, and we're going to find the center, just like that. Then I'm going to just connect those two dots. All right, so there. Now we know that that is going back to the vanishing point. Let's do that again. Top and bottom. Let's get the center. Top and bottom. Let's draw the center. And then let's connect that too. All right. And the same thing down here. We're going to go top and center like this. And we're going to do this. That's going back to the vanishing point. Okay, let's go on the other side here and see how we do. Top and bottom, find the center point. Okay, we can line that up. Let's find the center here, right? And then let's do it again over here. Let's find the center. Okay, so we have a nice perspective grid going on both sides of this house. All right, now, so this is the tricky part, okay? I want to pretend like I could see, like this house is made out of glass, and I want to see through it, all right? I want to see through it. So I'm going to change the color of my, of the color of the ink here, or the color that I'm using, so you could see it. So in this corner here, I'm going to take this back. This will call this vanishing point A is in this direction, and vanishing point B is in that direction. I want to pull this back in the direction of going back toward A. You see that? And then I'm going to change the color again so that you can see this. And then over here, I'm going to take this back toward B. Something like that. Okay, so what has happened here now? This ends up being, if I was to show you a view that I was looking down on top of this, let's just say I was looking, this is a straight down view on our house that we just drew. This right here is going to be right there. This right here, we'll call this number 1. That's right there. You see that? Over here is B. Oh, sorry. B is over here. A vanishing point. And this guy back here, we'll call him number 2, is right there. So what I could do is I could draw this, and then I could see that, all right, this is going to be in this wall here is invisible, but I could see how that is the back side of this house. I hope I didn't confuse you with that. But what I'm trying to do is help you draw through it like it was a glass house, okay? You could see through it. Let's go ahead then and get rid of that. And if you didn't quite get it, that's okay, because we're going to draw it again right here in real time, and this should give you a little bit more practice, okay? And that's really how we learn something. If you don't get it the first time, we just keep at it again and again and again, and then it sinks in, all right? It's just like drawing a portrait. So that's the inside of the roof. Yes, absolutely. So this is, it's like drawing a portrait. The first time you don't get it, so you try it again, and then you try it again, and you try it again, and over time you start to like get it. Well, this is no different. So if you don't quite understand it first, it's okay. We'll get there. So let's look at our picture here, and let's first, I always like to draw some type of border. All right. So we're going to use tonight this idea of using overlap, and a perspective grid. So this is going to be my rough outline of my border there, okay? And one of the things that we've been talking about in the daily draw is the rule of thirds to try and create an interesting composition. So the rule of thirds is you want 2/3, you always want to separate your picture by thirds and not by halves, okay? So in this case, let's kind of do that. Let's just kind of look at up here. Let's go right about there. That's about a top 1/3 there, okay? And then let's draw a vertical, and we're going to look at this is the verticals. This is what I'm looking for when I'm going to draw these things. I'm kind of looking at this vertical, and that vertical, okay? So let's get that first one there, and we're going to draw him just slightly off center. I'm not really worried right now about how tall it is, just its placement. All right, this next one, I'm going to draw it a little bit closer here. Again, I'm not worried about how tall it is. And then the far right one, I'm going to extend out just a little bit more. So my little tea house here is going to be just slightly different, okay? Which is fine. All right, right below this eye line here, let's just put a little dot right about there. And then above it, let's put a dot right there. All right, remember, let's fan this out now. So we're gonna have a slight edge like this. And then it's gonna slowly come down just like that. And let's fan it out on this side as well. Draw lightly. We're gonna be drawing on top of this quite a bit. That's what we're looking for here. And then let's kind of draw a little bit of a perspective grid here. So let's go find the halfway point right there. Draw this lightly, halfway point right there, and connect that. Same thing on the other side, halfway, and we're going to connect that. So, since we do see the underside of this house, let's go over here. I'm gonna just put a little dot right there. We're gonna start right this corner here, and this is gonna go across the page, going to that same place, that same vanishing point. Just like what you said, Joe. It's the inside, the underside of the roof in the back there. Let's go to this corner here. Let's go to this one now. Do the same thing, but send this back, following that kind of that little grid that we put together. And right there, right where I put the little dot there, that's going to be the back corner of the roof. Now it might be different. Mine's different from the picture, but that's okay. I didn't try and make it exactly like it, and yours might be also different as well. But you just want to make sure that you are sending these things back in space, back to their right place. So what I'm going to do to help me keep my mind straight here, I'm just going to slightly give a little bit of a tone here. So I can remember that's the underside of the roof. I'll come back in later and make it much darker. Let's go ahead and draw a light X. So we're going to come very lightly here, across here like this. And then the same thing. We're going to start here. Okay. And there's the center. Then let's go straight up just a little bit. And this will be the kind of our rough peak of this house here. So let's just come in here and connect those dots. Now we're going to use this as a basis to help us draw everything else. So now let's take the roof line back to the vanishing point over here. And then back here at this corner, right there, let's just follow that exact parallel that, right like that, okay? So I'm going to pause here for a second and just kind of let you take a close look. This is really where you should be at with drawing the shell or the skeleton per se of our tea house. should have drawn it lightly so we can draw on top of it. But from here, this was the hard, I think this is the hardest part right here. And we've already gotten past that. Hopefully you feel pretty good with yours. All right, let's get into some of these steps here now. And the first thing I want to do is I want to start thinking about, I want to think of like big and then come down small, okay? So I'm trying to get the big picture first and then small. So for the sake of conversation, I think I'm gonna come in here like this. I'm just, you see this is that big shape. That's that big shape that's over on the right side there. Let me bring this up here. See that's this right there. Okay? Let's go to the bottom here, and now we got this one. Now look, this is important here. Look right where I put that mark. You see that? So this next area comes all the way down. That big shape is going to come all the way down, way over there. You see that? And don't shortchange yourself there. Now I'm looking at my drawing next, and this is what I see. So I'm seeing the edge of this right there, and I'm asking myself, oh look, it almost lines up with the middle of this house here. You see this? So let's kind of think about that a little bit. Let's make sure that we come all the way. I'm going to just kind of come right there maybe, right? And look, this is going to start right there. So it's going to come all the way back here. And then it's going to end right there. You see that? There's that other shape. And then I've got this row of rocks up toward the bottom part of my house. And that is coming down like this. And that's got that shape right there. I got this, it's like this bush coming over there. So what we're doing is, you could call this gesturing. We're just putting in some loose shapes to help us constrain what we're going to do next. I'm thinking big to small. All right, let's kind of get a little bit of this tree in here, and it's just kind of coming up here like this. You see that? And then it looks like this branch is coming over here, right? And on this side, it looks like I also have a tree that's coming into picture. And then I've got I'm just going to quickly, lightly think of my bushes up on top there. All right. Giovanna, how are you doing? Doing okay? Leah, how are you doing up there? Okay, let's talk about overlap now. All right. So let's start with, I'm going to start with this area down below here. And I'm going to now like go into a little bit more. I'm going to take this big shape and break it down to be a little bit smaller shapes. Okay, so look, I've got this very lightly here. I've got this stick coming there, and looks like I got another one very lightly. Got one there. And then I've got this level of rocks, it looks like. Okay, coming down here. That's a good start right there. Behind this, I've got some more rocks kind of coming in here. And then I've got a nice one back over there. So I've just really roughly dropped in these different shapes. breaking it down. Okay, let's go to the other side now. We got this, looks like we got this rock right here. There's another one. Another one here, right? Then it looks like it gets kind of grassy, right? A little bit of grass right there. Got some type of rock right there or something, right? Okay. Then there's going to be a tree here, but we'll come back in and grab that tree just a little bit later. All right, let's keep going here. Got this rock right there, and I'm just slowly kind of piecing these things together. Another rock right there. All right, I'm gonna take my tree here and thicken it up just a little bit. Another rock way back there, and of course we've got some bushes, so just lightly dropping things in. All right, let's go to the other side here, and we have some rocks here. I can see some more ones here, and now it gets a little bit wider. Looks like there's something over here. Just putting in some bigger shapes. Looks like there's some slight connection problems, so we'll just keep going, and if we'll let it catch up here. All right, along this path here, let's go ahead and draw some flat lines, and these flat lines will help us. I'm just going to do them random, so I don't want to keep them. I don't want them to be totally even. And this will come back and help us with some of these steps. So you can see now how I've taken like the big shape and started just to break it down, break it down, break it down. So let's go ahead and get back into more, get back to our house here and draw some more detail on this, okay? So I'm looking up here at the top right, this guy right there. And I could see that the actual house, the roof extends way out beyond it. So I'm gonna put a little mark way out here. And that's gonna help me aim for that. And I'm gonna do the same for the other side. Okay. I'm gonna aim for that as well. And then of course, the other corner we're looking straight at it. So it's gonna be something like that. And let's connect that. And let's connect this one as well. Now from this corner, this is going to go back to the vanishing point. So don't try not to get lost. We're coming back like that. Same thing over here. This is also going back the other way. Extend the center line up just a little bit. And I'm going to curve this slightly. Curve this slightly. Now it's time. Let's get this pole in the corner here, right? And then let's come over here and do the same thing for this pole. And then way over here, let's get this pole in as well. All right. Let's get this wall in here. I'm going to start my wall right there. And this is going to go back to our vanishing point. So there's my wall. Then we're going to have a bit of a doorway here. You see that? So we want to come up like that. Bit fast. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Joe. I'm glad. Just say it. Slow down. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize at all. I'm glad you speak. I'm glad you say something. Glad you say something. I can see, Joe, I can see you trying to draw, then you're like, oh my gosh, Cart's going too fast. And you put your pencil down and grab the keyboard. Slow down. No problem. No problem. Got all the time in the world. No rush. All right. Since you just typed that funny joke, it looks like I can continue, right? All right, so let's kind of get our back wall. Let's get back our back wall back there. Why didn't that show up? All right, we're going to draw that back wall right there. And then let's cause this. I'll tell you what, let's do something fun here. You know me, I like to bust it up. Let's draw a circle in here. All right, we're going to draw a circle. I don't know if that's traditional or not, but we'll do a circle. Then we're going to want to add a little thickness to it, all right? So we're just going to do this sort of thing. Okay. Then we're going to add a little thickness to that wall right there. You see that? Now we get to do the fun part that I've been waiting for, and that's to color in this root to get some dark value underneath this building. And watch this, when I come up to this first post, I'm going to leave just a little bit of sliver of color right there, value. You see that? And we're going to get a little bit over here as well. Now, I can see that they have a little bench. So we're going to angle this a little bit. Angle this right there. And then we can just kind of divide that in half. And then divide that in half. Divide that in half. And then we divide this in half. Man, this is just not being fair tonight. All right, let's keep going. All right, well, let's put a little edge down here. So like this is the bottom part of that door maybe, right? And let's go ahead now and work on some of these rocks so we can start to put these together. So let's start with these steps, I think. We'll start with these steps right over here, okay? And first thing I'm going to do is just start to use surface lines and go straight up or down. I'm looking closely at my picture here. Trying to keep these things uneven. Holy moly. I'm sorry, Joe. Joe, I'll tell you what, when we're done, make sure you post your stuff in Facebook group and I'll take a look at it, okay? Then I'm going to change the direction of my surface lines and just put some going straight across like this, you see? Same thing down here now. I'm gonna add some surface lines. Surface lines for the edge again. All right. Let's get this. I'm going to draw a little small oval here. And when you draw these ovals, make sure you're foreshortening them. Add some surface lines to these pilings or these and all I'm doing now is starting to use surface lines to indicate the face of some of these things. All right, you're watching. Okay, John. All right, Giovanna. I'm going to come in here and actually add some darker tone to the front of this. And some tone to the back of this one here. Okay. Joe, you doing okay? I'm going to add another bit of tone to this rock back here. Slightly lighter. Just slowly developing these things without feeling, well, I don't want to feel rushed, and if I'm rushing you, my apology on that. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just slowly building up, slowly working my way up, all the way up to this this tea house up on top. And I'm gonna jump up now and leave those rocks down below there, and take a look at this big old tree here, because I think this would be interesting. So I'm gonna come up here like this. Okay. Here's my tree. Okay. Just going to use some surface lines as this gets higher above eye level. And when you put these surface lines in, go slowly, really make them curve, okay? And you could drop a slight tone over that too. I'm going to put these, outline where these rocks are going to go. All right, I'm gonna leave the bottom part now and move up to the top here and start to think about leaves, and I'm just going to indicate these leaves just with some small squiggles and a little bit of tone. Think of these leaves as more of mass value. And then over here we're gonna have another tree. This guy I'm gonna bring him in at an angle, like an angle like this, and I'm gonna make him like in the foreground, close to us. And I'm going to really use surface lines to bring him more in the foreground. I'm going to want to tone him in as well. I'm going to add some more leaves in the background here. Okay. Bottom part of our tea house here, I'm adding some rocks. Maybe another tree in the background. It is. So I'm just gonna add some shapes, very light shapes in the back there. I'm going to add a little bit of a tone to the one end of my roof. And that kind of brings us up and past the hour. So if I haven't put you to sleep so far, I don't want you to. I don't want you to fall asleep on me. So that should kind of set you up with a good solid direction of keep going forward here, keep stepping things up, slowing it down, and just keep overlapping your rocks. We started down here at the front, and just keep overlapping as you move up to the top of the page. Are there any other questions that I could answer before I cut you loose? Boy, that took a lot longer than I thought, and we're not even halfway done yet. So I'm gonna have to. Looks like I got a little homework tonight. Little homework to do tonight to finish this off, and I don't want to bore you beyond an hour. Well, okay, with that being said, I just want to thank everyone for watching. I'm sorry that it didn't get done faster, but hopefully you have some rough ideas of understanding overlap, understanding the surface of things, and understanding how to kind of build a simple help. Okay, Joe, I'll help you. Joe, just take whatever you have, and this is how we roll here. Take whatever you have and put it in the Facebook group, okay? I'll take a look at it, and then I will draw on top of it tomorrow morning for you. All right? So don't get discouraged. This is how we go, all right? Okay, with that being said, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good evening. I'm going to turn the camera off and turn this off, and then finish this up here. And if you had any problems, like I said, jump into Facebook, post it in there, and we'll take a look at it. Okay? Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.